So I'm just really enjoying this combining. Finally a nice bit of steady wheat, just feeding nicely. Plenty of dust behind us, bit of a crosswind. So we've got a combine set on this residue, automatic residue. So it's pinging it, it's shifting it right to the left or far to the left, and then on the return it'll flick it the other way. So I've got it set at maximum speed, but I have got the knives out a little bit. And as you can see, a very enjoyable around late 9 tonne a hectare, so that's quite good. And yes, really enjoying this. This is currently Tuesday afternoon. Morning everybody, Wednesday morning. Successful night's combining last night. I think we did 15.5 hectares by the end, so making good progress, which is nice. Last week's video I mentioned a cover crop, a linseed cover crop, and I'm rather pleased with it, so I thought I would just share it with you. So here we are. Now this is relatively late sown. I think it was sown at the end of June, and it's quite interesting because it seems to have escaped the flax beetle. So it's mostly linseed, but as you can see, a fair sprinkling of sunflowers. It should make for an interesting picture later in the month, but at the moment it's quite interesting. The linseed seems to flower during the day and then drops its petals every night. So but I think we will try and combine this if and take it through if it's not too late. Obviously linseed is not the easiest to combine at the best of times, so going for a late season linseed harvest is a recipe for even less hair than normal. But I think it's probably worth taking it through to harvest and seeing if we can at least salvage some seed for use in cover crops next year. So this is my front field in front of my house, as you can see behind me, and we've put this down to grass. We're a little bit short of turkey grazing area, so we do free range Christmas turkeys. We're a little bit short of area, so we're pushing our numbers up. We're looking to experiment with a mobile system, specifically within the regenerative system if we can. So I thought this grass follows rape, and I thought it would be a good opportunity just to see how establishment is getting on. There are quite a few rape volunteers, but you can see the rows of grass seed coming up. Now it is a diverse herbal lay. It is an environmental scheme, so we are also considering some silvio forestry in this field, but I haven't put any plans in place yet. But I think I'm hoping that a topping will get rid of the rape volunteers and just leave us with the grass seed. It is here. I just don't want it being smothered by the rape, but so far it's made it through the slugs, so fingers crossed. Afternoon everybody, it's Thursday afternoon, and we've got some sunshine. So I was trying to figure out what this dark mark was in front of my combine, and then I realised it was my shadow. Brilliant! As you can see, this is we're up against HS2, so this is we talked about it previously, St Mary's Church, the excavation site. This is one of their famous soil piles out here. They seem to be doing some archaeology. This field has got a rather interesting Roman history to it. Struggling with some serious blackgrass here. Feeding is not great, as I have to stop to adjust it. However, I don't know if you can see down here these bits, and if I adjust it, because we're getting to some nicer crop now, so they move backwards, as you see there, and then forwards, and that is the adjustment of the tilt on my header. So this combine is this is its second season with us, relatively new, and one thing that I am enjoying about it is that tilt function. Rather than having to use the reel to adjust all the time, actually what I found is in variable crop, where it's sometimes, you know, part of it's laid, part of it is standing. Actually, just tilting the knife forward is enough to adjust the reel at the same time. So it's like one button that does two functions. So, you know, it's certainly been a bit easier. So I've enjoyed these little bars. This is nearly the end of this field, and it'll be I don't think we have to take the header off. We can skip through a gap, but we've got another sort of 10 hectares next door, and then we've got a big move. So interesting progress, and we're going quite well. So yes, looking forward to getting out of this field. 34 hectares, it's taken us 3 days. It can't go at night, or can't go very long at night. So looking forward to next move. Afternoon everybody, Saturday afternoon, and we're thundering along through some true spring wheat today, so that makes a nice difference. So you can see some wild oats poking out. That's what we have here, but otherwise not too bad. Some ominous clouds, but we do have a shadow, so that's encouraging. As far as yield goes, it's about it's here, so between, I think it's about 6.5. We might be going through a good session. So there we go, 6.6 tons per hectare average. So enjoying this, because the last day, or yesterday, was an absolute horror. Lots of black grass, bit of brome, and the crop had gone flat. So we'll be able to show you just what a yield effect that has. And that was a conventional field. This is conventional as well. And I suppose that's one of the reasons for looking at regenerative, is that reduction in risk. Fundamentally, if I can get, we know I can get 7 tons from a winter crop on regenerative, that's a lot less risk than getting probably the same yield from conventional that's been decimated by weeds. However, it just shows you how dangerous weeds are. And probably that's a note to self as well, that we have to be very careful to manage weed control within a regenerative system, not just sit back and think nature's not going to respond, that we're going to have it easy. I think that would be certainly my takeaway lesson from this year's combining, just what an impact weed burden has on combine output, and how careful you have to be to keep your crops clean. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, it all helps with the ratings and is much appreciated. Thank you very much, see you next time. Afternoon everybody, bank holiday Monday. Sorry I haven't got a video out, but it's just been too busy so far, so I'll just keep on adding the footage, and then you'll get a mega end of harvest video. So we're safely into spring wheats at the moment, and we're suffering a lot of this. We've mentioned it already, black grass growing in the tram lines. We had previously stopped drilling tram lines in spring crops it was I hadn't made it clear to the contractor I issued that, which was clearly a mistake. Now it does make for difficult combining conditions. I am running with lifters, and we also spoke about black grass causing lodging. Definitely has had an effect. Yield is disappointing in the spring wheats. Here we're showing late threes, not what we need at all. We're averaging the final field average. I think that's particularly bad bit of black grass there, but we are averaging well below our average, historical average of 5 tons. We're doing closer to 4 for this block of spring wheat. It does have a history of black grass, that's why it's in continuous spring cropping. I just can't defend it when it comes to winter cropping, but it does, and this is also a conventional crop, so it's got a big spend on it, and you've got to wonder, well, it will be losing money, but you've got to wonder what the alternatives are. So that's some serious soul searching for us, something to continually review. Spring oats next, all grown regeneratively, so interesting comparison as far as potential margin and what the yields are. Fundamentally, that'll be interesting. So one of the real take homes from this season has been the weather, and again today we've got an overcast sky, but it's been worse than that. We've had 2 drizzly sessions this morning, and we've just made the decision that we need to push on, so we'll just persevere and try and push on. We've got spring oats left to combine and another 2 fields of spring wheat, so we are getting close to the end, but it is certainly a struggle.
We managed to clear the first field of spring oats with its varying soil health conditions. Here we have the results, with the high health section of the field achieving an average yield of 4.2 and the low health achieving 2.9 tonnes per hectare. I have all the costs in for these regenerative fields, and at a sale price of £200 per tonne we require a 2.5 tonne yield to cover my costs before rent. Interestingly, both the regenerative spring wheat and spring oats both require a 2.5 tonne per hectare yield to achieve break even. Spring wheat managed 3.12 over 28 hectares, and the spring oats managed 3.9 over 12.3 hectares. So at the moment, with 10 hectares of spring oats left, they look the better choice. I also have a comparison across the whole farm of flexi wheat versus spring and conventional versus regenerative. I'll show you the yield data, but I'm not in a position to compare costs quite yet. Anyway, harvest is nearly done. It's been a real challenge this year. Stay safe everyone, it's nearly there. Then we learn our lessons and roll the dice again. See you all next time. Bye.